Yo, 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 guys, what is up? Welcome back to another episode of Marijuana SA Weekly, episode, Jesus, I think 104 or 5.
Episode important.
Episode important. So,
yes.
We've been brought to you a bit of a public broadcast announcement, and we are informing you as to why the manifesto could be a R1 billion document, and that's just an underestimate. That's not even a tip of the iceberg of what potential this document has. We believe it's going to be one of the most important documents for the cannabis industry that's going to come out in 2021, maybe even longer into the future. And we're excited just to explain a little bit about it. And we've got some news and this and that. But anyway, welcome. And yeah, how's it, Dean? Also,
Yo, what's up, everyone?
Gonna give us some some of his thoughts and opinions on the manifesto tonight.
Full opinions.
It might get a little bit opinion-y, but yeah, this is important stuff. And it's it's just something that we thought we should let you know. So we're gonna give you the context, the background. The manifesto is something that's been around for a few years now. Dean's got lucky enough to have an actual hard copy
of one of the older versions, I think.
Of one of the older versions. And basically, it's the Fields of Green for All. They've done an incredible job of compiling this literally like unreal document. It's pages upon pages of diagrams, charts, research upon research of cannabis facts and how it can impact South Africa, sustainability, how it's how cannabis should be basically it's how cannabis should be done from an industry perspective as well as a consumer's perspective, and not from like a corporate, and not because when government makes decisions, they need documents like this to be able to make decisions. And normally the only people who can afford to make documents like this is the big corporates, and then they just get to say whatever and make their own rules. So definitely one of the most important things that is going to be coming out, and it's getting released on there's now a new update on the 20th of April 420, and that's going to cover, we kind of going to go in and what's already in the manifesto. We don't know what's going to come out, but we're going to give you a little bit of our insights on what's maybe going to be in there, what we think should be in there, and I guess afterwards we'll know if we're right or wrong. So kicking off, Dean, what are your initial thoughts on what's going to be what kind of points in the last one?
Well, what I like about it is firstly that it's created by people who have an intimate knowledge with cannabis. It's also, being created with a huge amount of research gone into it. And you're looking at it from the South African standpoint specifically. We're a unique country in the fact that we're already rumored to be the third largest illegal cannabis producer in the world. Many companies have been breeding here for long, so South Africa is well known as a cannabis country, and we're also well known to have the Gavi stuff things up. So with this document, I think it for the kind of industry that I as a cannabis enthusiast want to see, this is the kind of document that I'm comfortable to, or the kind of things that I'm comfortable to put myself behind. It's all I'm concerned though is the government going to listen? There's recently been stuff in the news about a few different governmental bodies coming out with their plan, saying that they've got the master plan. But I really feel, if anyone for those of you afterwards when you go and have a look at the manifesto, or watch the launch on April 20th, you'll have more insight as to why we're passionate about it. And the Fields of Green has also got us to where we are today in our current law. So they've been fighting a long hard fight, and they haven't stopped the fight. They continue. So that's my sort of feelings on the matter. What I like about it, what I like about it is, you know, it takes a look at all of the industries within cannabis. Lots of people think it's just, you know, farming or export or this or that, but there's so much more to it. Transport, you know, testing, all which, so there's multiple industries. There's also tourism, which I don't think the government has really been looking at. You know, if we why
as a real
why
industry.
export everything from a tourism country when you could be you know, known throughout the world for people to come for ganja tourism. Maybe not.
Yeah.
That's not the image they want for South Africa, but
Why
like
not? I mean,
money
it's gonna
talks.
happen. Yeah. There's
you know, so,
it's not something to be overlooked amongst other industries that Jeff was saying yesterday in my video on the how to get a cannabis license. It's the export market is only to international we only have an export market at the moment. And why is it not available domestically? Why are we not keeping some of that for ourselves? We have pharmaceutical companies that are ready to make products with this, and then we can get a product which can then be actually prescribed sort of by doctors in terms of like a set, you know, according to the doctor's oath and whatever they've done their research. There's a product for them. If they want to do that, there's that route, and then the government can start making some laxing the laws around it. But yeah, until then, it's you know, there's not much we can do. But yeah,
I mean,
anyway.
we make money to a point, and then
Yeah.
the money gets sent to be made somewhere else. I mean, it's classic pillaging of the lands. You know, let's rather use what we have here. We need cash as a country. Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
If you look at global trends, cannabis is massive money. So why, as a country that's so desperate for money, why take on more debt when you could create wealth within your own country by utilizing something which is already there, which is the underground market. It's there. It's always going to be there until, you know, it's changed. So why? And as long as there's no recreational within our country, the underground market will remain. So why forego that money that can be made when you could regulate that same market? And a majority of people don't want to do something illegal. A majority of people who can't cultivate for themselves, because there's many of those, you know, want to smoke and are forced to go illegal because of the current laws. And they're going to, if you can make the day it's legal, a majority of people will go for the legal side, as long as, you know, the prices stay good and stuff, I suppose.
Exactly. And anyways, I mean, you know what? I mean, those are most of the points that bring us back to like why this is going to be a R1 billion document. I mean, the moment government starts to wake up to this opportunity, and I'm sure they've got lots of other opportunities at the moment, and I'm sure they already stressed out with you know, just trying to get COVID sorted. But quite honestly, it's not something to be slept on, because it's not. I mean, we've seen state after state in the States getting legalized, European countries, smaller other African countries. I mean, Lesotho is like on our own sort of, you know, within a stone's throw, and they've really got a market going, and it's thriving, and it's bringing in cash for the economy. And I mean, why can't we jump on that? And then not only is it going to start making, there's people with the capital to put it in. There's job creation that's going to come from it. You're going to start getting those precious taxes that you're after, because people don't mind paying tax on a good product. In the States, they were happy to
and that's
accept
safe,
it.
you know?
Yeah, they're happy to accept it in a dispensary. I mean, it's not the setting was accepted by people. They fine, I'll pay. They have GST or whatever, or VAT.
You know what you're getting. Then you know what strain you're getting. You know that it's been tested. And there's money in all of that. You know, there's money in cultivating of genetics. There's money in farming. There's genetics. There's money in testing. There's money in dispensing. You know, and then as a consumer, you want to know for a fact that there's no pesticides on that bud. You know, and in the illegal market, how do you know you don't? Everyone in South Africa smoked bud that's had something dodgy in it. I'm sure. You know, and that's what the illegal market does. You know, people want quality, and they will pay for it, and they want to do the right thing.
Exactly, and they want to legitimize, but you can't if there's pressure coming from you on all angles. And I mean, even as you know, with resources behind us on the grow store, we don't have nearly enough resources to go like into the in-depths of what you can and can't do. I mean, there are clubs and private things, but it's just a lot of, it's just a lot of blurred lines to try and navigate.
And constantly changing, and you know, there's perceptions and opinions. So it is a very hard space to operate in, you know.
What happened in Europe was like Switzerland, because there's the EU and then like Switzerland's kind of out of the EU. They were the only country, the only European, not the only one, but in the process of figuring out cannabis, there was just absolute pandemonium. I mean, countries were going, oh, we'll have 10% THC, then 5, then 2, then back up to 8, and then 6.5, and then like 0.5% just overnight. And then they would say, okay, we can have like 2 or 3%. And during all of this, like 10 years of the thing, no business could actually do anything with that, because how are you possibly going to run a business if tomorrow night the policy can change, unless it's like a side thing and it's not really a big part, but that's not doing any value for your company, your country anyway. Whereas like Switzerland was decisive, they stuck with it, they made a plan and they kept it, even though maybe they wanted to change it, they've kept it, and it's allowed businesses to fit in, adapt, and and now they've got that plan, which South Africa could do the same.
Yeah, by looking at this document. I mean, all the research has been done and all these case studies have been looked at. And then the South African market specifically has been looked at. Painstaking work and thought has gone into this. And like the government's already going to be making those mistakes if they don't start to consult. I mean, look at the draft home bill that they've already put out, it didn't really mention anything. So why go through all those mistakes when people have put loads of resources into helping you avoid it, and they're offering it to you, and you're not, are they looking at it?
And if they forget that we've got, they trying to make these rules, and I think they're kind of forgetting that the Constitutional Court decided that it's it's our right to consume in our private places whatever we sort of want to consume, or cannabis, they said. But I mean, essentially that's going to expand to all substances. But yeah, there's a like it was in our, it's a human right now, and same with some of the things in the manifesto, how they were saying is it's not just the manifesto is not just for big corporates, it's for the guys in like the Eastern Cape that have been growing weed, sustaining their livelihoods for long before the government came and made it a thing. And they, this is their livelihoods. They have nothing else. The government's not creating anything else. So, and they're going to potentially create things that are going to just ignore this demographic of people. And I mean, just, yeah.
Yeah, and they've been persecuted by police for many years. I mean, there's that, I think the Dhaka couple, I think I saw it on YouTube, with like the hardcore Roundup style chemicals that have been getting sprayed on farmers in cultivating cannabis in rural areas. So there's like a lot of wrong that's been done in the country as well. And the manifesto also accounts for all of that. It accounts for and I mean, weed is also used religiously. It's a religious, it's in some religions it is a part of it, so we have the right. I would like to see more laxing from the government as soon as possible, and faster movement. It's been ages, and I mean, when are they going to wake up? I mean, I understand COVID-19's here, so it's all stress around, but I mean, they must have kind of gotten used to it. This shit runs in waves.
They don't even have to do much. They just need to untie the leash and let the people run, and just trust that we'll run in a straight line.
And there's already a market. I mean, there's already a profession. Cannabis is incredibly professional already.
I mean, they got craft beers, right? Like the craft brewing. Why is it any different?
Exactly.
Like, you can make if you're selling a product that's got 5% alcohol, but it's you're saying it's actually it's the wrong alcohol percentage. That's just obvious. No one's going to do that. People aren't like, it might have a deviation, but it's not they're not dicking around because they're taking it seriously, because they want to make buck,
you can't sell it unless it's test it. You can't sell your beer unless you have a stamp on the side telling you what's the the percentage, and there's definitely some sort of document behind that.
And these are small craft breweries. Why do they think the cannabis space is going to be any different?
Exactly. And I mean, we've got testing already. There's testing facilities popping up all over, and the government, I personally feel the government could set up testing facilities as well. The Gavi could have a whole bunch of facilities, and that just rake in the funds. You have to get your bud tested if you want to sell it. So
they can use all the bud for their parties. Can't learn.
Oh, that's hilarious.
All the waste. Anyway, we pretty much at the wraps of it. But guys, we're gonna be the manifesto is releasing on 420. There is a big event. It's part of the D-Day celebrations. But it's virtual this year with some exceptions, and basically everything's going to be streamed on the Dhaka Couples Facebook and on Fields of Green for All on YouTube. So go over there, check it out, follow along with the day. We'll be there. We might try to do like a live Twitch stream or like a live YouTube stream just while they're going, and we can like commenteer on it as it's getting rolled out, which I think will be quite fun. But yeah, it's worth going. We underestimate how much these guys have done for the cannabis industry, and it's with amongst all the legislation, politics, and things like that, it's such a large feat actually, and they're still working on they've set the ball in motion for psilocybins and other substances, which if you have the right to consume in your it's your body, your rights, as long as it's in private and this and that. Some of it they're doing a great job, and you guys should go support their doings.
I mean, if you like cannabis and you want to just support someone, these are definitely people that we approve of supporting and that have really done a lot for us. So I hope it shows some love on 420, guys, and thanks for watching as always.
Sick. And subscribe to us as well. Show us some love. Peace, guys.
Peace.